I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that often cats, they're not roaming the streets in the middle of the day. Usually during the day, cats, they just go somewhere quiet and they sleep during the day because they want to avoid us humans, our noise, our pollution, our cars, our mannerisms, how loud we are. So they just go away. But if you go out in the street at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., at least where I live, you see a lot of cats roaming the streets. It's almost as if that's the only time of the day where they can be outside because it's less warm. There are barely any people in the street and they just feel more at peace. They just feel safer. They feel more calm, less stressed. And I feel the exact same way, which might sound weird. But the nighttime is my absolute favorite time of the day. I feel like I can be in my thoughts because there's silence. Right now it is 3:48 a.m. and the air feels lighter. The overall feeling just feels more peaceful, more introspective. And during the nights where I get my best work done, because there are no outside influences that can affect what I'm doing. There is no noise outside. Everyone's asleep. It's much less warm than it is during the day. And the Wi-Fi works great. There's just something about the night that makes you feel at peace. At least it makes me feel like at peace. And it's funny that you see cats also only coming out at night. I imagine for the same reasons, to try to avoid humanity. I've been battling with humanity recently. I'm not going to talk about some of the things that have been happening that have been not contributing to me like Inhumans. I guess that's more for the future, but people can be very mean. Unnecessarily. I feel like majority of people are super hostile. For no reason whatsoever. I don't know if they're trying to prove themselves. I don't know what they're trying to do, but the hostility is crazy. It's almost like they're in constant combat with the world. Like they're upset with their situation. And everything about them is just so hostile. That's why I like the nighttime. There's no one being hostile. There's no one out. There's peace, silence, an opportunity to think, reflect, not listen to all this noise pollution, the fucking cars. I swear to God, cars annoy the shit out of me. I don't understand how no one talks about this. How am I one of the few people who is so annoyed during the daytime that it just avoids it? I cannot stand the noise of vehicles. I cannot stand construction sounds. I cannot stand fucking people yelling. I swear to God. Noise is just so annoying to me. I do not get. I fucking hate. The other day I went out to dinner with my father and my mother. And I swear to God, I never ate so fast. I just wanted to get the fuck out of that restaurant. There was this like group of people, and I cannot express how loud they were speaking. I just felt like doing something that I cannot say here on YouTube to them all. It's just, why? Why so loud? I can only think of one reason. These people are at war inside. And it just comes out like that. Loud, messy, unprofessional. I am really not a city person. I cannot wait to have the means to have my own place, secluded from city life, filled with peace, nature, and God. I cannot operate during the daytime in a city. It's awful and it annoys the shit out of me. Even when doing my pull-ups, I always do them at like 5 to 6 a.m. I would do them sooner, like at 4 or 5. The problem is that the park I do them at, there is no proper lighting. So if I record the pull-ups at night, the quality is very trash. So unfortunately I have to wait until there's some light outside. Otherwise I wouldn't. I just love the nighttime. And part of me has thought that when I have the means to immigrate to one of those countries that have no sunlight during extensive periods of the year, for some reason I feel like I would fit in very well in those type of places. I just feel at peace. I just feel better overall. And there's something about those places. It's usually cold there. I feel like the cold is something that heals you, that makes you reflect and be more introspective than us humans usually are. Right now I'm in a place that's very warm. And yeah, I can deal with it, but I'd much rather it be cold. Oddly, it's not often that I prefer warmer climates. It's very interesting. I just went on YouTube and I researched why I hate being awake during the afternoon. And I also searched why I hate being awake during the daytime. And there is no video of anyone expressing what I've just expressed, which feels very odd. Oh, that's actually very odd, which means that this is very unique. Let me try to search this on just Google. Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting. I just found something on Reddit. I hate being awake during the daytime. It is like my brain shuts down and can't motivate myself to do anything. Well, it's not that I can't motivate myself to do anything in my case. It's just that things can go wrong a whole lot easier. Internet not working, me getting annoyed because of the noise and the heat, people yelling. Back to this post. I can't enjoy the same activities that I do during the nighttime. And for some reason, everything becomes so pointless and tiring. When most of my awake hours are during the daytime, I will unironically feel like I am slipping into depression because of how badly I function. But when I sleep during the day and wake up in the evening, I am suddenly motivated to do things. I am able to focus on activities I like and genuinely feel happy doing things. I feel free and more human. Well, this last one I really do agree with. Another thing I thought of recently that's very weird, if you think about it. Everyone, the average person, they sleep during the nighttime. So let's put it from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And they wake up at 7 a.m. and they go to work. And they give their first 8 hours of the day, which are the best hours that you function. The first ones that you're awake to their job. And then the worst 8 hours that they have, they usually give it to themselves, to their hobbies, to their chores. Why do people do that? Shouldn't people maybe do it the other way around? What do I mean by this? You wake up at like 11 p.m. and you stay awake until 8 a.m. doing your own things, your hobbies, your chores, your work. And then when it's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., assuming that that is your work schedule, then you go to your job and you give your worst 8 hours of the day to your normal job. And then when you come back home from the job, you sleep and do it all over again. Why do people give their best hours of the day towards jobs that majority of the time do not reward them in a way that's fitting? That is very weird. That no one has fought to do things the other way around, to give their first and best 8 hours to themselves. Maybe if you're listening to this and you have a day job, consider doing this. I know it's weird. I know people think you're weird because of it, but I think your days will go a heck of a lot better if you give your best hours towards yourself instead of your job, which most likely does not give a solitary fuck about you. Just think about it.